Hello world, it's Tuesday, April 9th. It's 8:11 p.m. This is like another vlog of 10 minutes. And I watched some of the vlogs today from like summer 2022 or late summer, being in Zion, and I watched some from earlier this year and late last year, so like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And I have also been doing the Instagram vlogs, and so some of the reflections around this are really a lot of curiosity, interest into observing yourself from the outside over many years, over many months and years. and being really amazed at this kind of observation of a human being, kind of like of a consciousness living and kind of being evolving and being aware. And so I'm observing that it's just a super fascinating practice and experience. And so the time here, it's usually 10 minutes, and I hope the audio is good. Let me check it. All right, so the audio is good. And what else? So that was that was like already 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and now there's just 7 minutes left. And so this is where the story picks up right here. It's the you're observing right now an evolution of a narrative of a person, and it's a story. It's happening in real world. So this is like an artifact, and it's really fascinating and interesting, because you're observing like this happening, this person, right? Happening, living, right? It's super interesting. Like, why is it interesting? Like, what is interesting to observe in the world? Like, you can watch a movie, you can look at a waterfall, you can look at a volcano or a mountain, you can look at a giant lake or an ocean, and be amazed at these wonders. You can look at a spiral galaxy through a telescope. So these are, or you can observe a human life unfold. So this is like one of those things that you can observe. And as I am existing in this narrative, and I am observing myself over time, I have the ability to change course and shape the trajectory, create the future. And so this process of like documenting, observing, and then looking back, and then being like, okay, this is what it looks like from the outside. I am existing I am experiencing this from the first person perspective, and then taking a step back and then looking at yourself. You're like, you see the pattern, the dynamic cycles of a mind, of a body, of a person moving, expressing, having some kind of emotions, feelings, thoughts, aspirations, some state, and then you're able to see that from the outside, and then you can see like, okay, this is going this way, this is going that way, and this is you have this other perspective. From the inside, you're kind of experiencing it, and you're just in the moment. You're acting it out. But if you take a step back, third person perspective, you're like, okay, you have a bit more of a control, and you have some distance. With distance and observation, you have more control. So this is interesting. This is like, we as humans are we are operations, patterns. We are phenomena. Like we have certain kind of functions, input and output machines, and it's a rapidly evolving world. We are like a okay. What's coming to mind is like there's like this channel called Current by Al Gore, and there was this like Latin American like documentary filmmaker that just made all these like documentaries about like how the internet and the world is so fascinating to observe, and how we can observe ourselves. Okay, so that brings up that kind of like feeling, an observation of us as being this kind of this kind of operation that we can understand and observe, and we're like this little engine, and like we can take a step back, and we can just understand that these are the operations of the human mind, and like we just do them, and then we are just like giant crowds of these little engines living on different continents, and going about their lives. And how this is definitely something that we are shaping as the world is evolving with new technology and digital technological evolution of the exponential development of technology that we are on, going towards like the singularity. So this is like so we are evolving, and now this is happening through LLMs, and this is like the space where we can really shift our operations, amplify our thinking power through this understanding of who we are and where we're going, and really putting this kind of like new kind of computational operation into this called the LLM, into the place where where we're putting it, which is through these different applications. So this is like what I am occupied with as a software developer, creating applications, and an indie app developer. And my app right now is a journaling app. So this idea of just like how I am right now, just talking about how what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, whatever you have on your mind, whatever your state is, putting that down on paper through voice journaling or through typing, and then having the LLM be there to like summarize it, to distill insights, to give you a second perspective, an outsider perspective. Just having a person there, having someone there to give you feedback, give you insights, questions to think deeper on, to ask yourself, and to carry this conversation forward. Well, before we just had the notebook, and you just wrote things down, and then maybe like you would come back to it, or couple other decades or centuries later, someone else would read it and be like, try to understand you, and or just understand you really. So now we have this ability to have this dialogue with this kind of like mirror. And so this is my thesis right now, is that this can improve our wellness, mental health, being, our lives through more greater self insight, understanding, self knowledge, and self development. So this is the area of self development. What does self development mean? It means evolution as a person through gaining greater emotional and self-awareness, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and like kind of and ability to kind of set goals and achieve your goals and work towards your goals, and to better really self-regulate is the term. So I'll end it there. That's about 10 minutes. Till next time. Peace. Yeah, and to summarize it, so today I just talked about like, hey, I'm catching up. I haven't done this vlog in a while. This is like the type of like 10 minutes. And I just talked about how amazing and mind-blowing it is to look back on the journals from the vlogs from like a year and months ago. And then talking about how it's fascinating that this human being is able to like document its life and observe itself and be observed through as a phenomenon of nature, as a waterfall or an ocean. And then talking about our point in time in history of how we are evolving technologically and how we can shape our future through understanding of what the human operations are, through and amplifying our thinking powers through AI, LLMs, digital new computational paradigms. So I'll end it there. Peace. And yeah, the website I'm working on is called imllm.com.